The topic that we're going to cover in this video series is organizing, and it comes from Chapter 10 of your textbook. We're going to start with the topic of outlining and then move on to the topic of paragraphing. Here we go. Outlines are useful in organizing our work so that the information we're trying to communicate to others is thorough and complete and covers all the things that we need to communicate, the ideas that we need to convey. Now, I'm actually one of those that doesn't usually start with an outline because I like to get a few thoughts started on paper. I like to do a little brainstorming first before I'm ready to begin with outlining. So even when I'm working on documents in my workplace, if I'm working on a document with any length or with any complexity to it, I really like to use outlining for organizational purposes. For this class, I'm not going to ask to see any of your formal outlining until we get to the major project. And for that assignment, preparing a thorough outline is really crucial to making sure that you cover all the bases, that you include all the necessary information, and that you transfer all the information that's needed by your audience to them. On page 188 of your book, there's a discussion about outlining and talking about strategy. The next page demonstrates a formal outline and how to do proper numbering. And then there is also an example of a formal outline that uses alphanumeric notation, which is, Roman numeral 1, then A, B, C, D, then 1, 2, 3, that level. So it's a really good idea to look at, but we're not really going to focus on that kind of formal outlining in our documents. So I'll leave that to you to read on your own. Let's move down to page 190. Okay, on 191, the topic here is storyboarding. It's a great topic. I don't use it here. We don't have time for that in the class, but I suggest you read through that. It's a great topic about, again, organizing your work. But on 193, we start with a topic here called paragraphing. Paragraphing is the process of shaping effective paragraphs in your documents. Now, the book refers to the paragraphs that we're going to examine in detail here as support paragraphs. Let me click on that. Oh, I'm using, by the way, the Kindle app to read this book. So I can do things like highlight or place notes in. For instance, I have a note there that we're going to cover 4 elements of the support paragraph, which are the topic sentence, unity, coherence, and length. Those are kinds of things you can do: highlighting, note-taking, looking things up. If you wanted to, you can actually search the web for this word, search Wikipedia, or even for a term like support graphics. I could go out and search for that. Highlight it, make a note, look it up in the dictionary, all of those kinds of things. So it's, again, one of those reasons I like the e-version of textbooks and using those for study purposes. So we're talking about the support paragraph here, and then all of the elements that go to make that up. Let's move on. And we are going to start with the topic sentence. The textbook goes through an example paragraph and covers all of the elements that we're going to talk about. But I have a paragraph that I prefer that I found online. So we're going to switch over and refer to that real quickly.